What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mirphh, and today it's really fucking bright out. Today we're back. It's been like 2 weeks. I was out of town for the past week on a work trip, so was not able to post. Did not get a chance to make any videos like last time and post them. Let me turn this down. Jesus. Did not get a chance to like make any videos and put them out beforehand, schedule them for release and all that fun stuff. What I do want to do is kind of come through and give some channel updates. I finally got off my ass and bought a lightning display, so now I can go ahead and we can cover everything from my main in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, my main in Lord of the Rings Home, instead of covering kind of these random free-to-play alt-only accounts. So I can kind of give you guys a perspective on what my actual account looks like and what some free-to-play accounts look like. I don't spend a lot of money in these games, I really don't, but I do spend a little bit here and there on my main accounts, like maybe $20, $40 a month, right? So today, specifically, what I want to talk about is Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Kind of want to take you through, this is the alt account that we've been following for a long time, and kind of talk about how I utilize my resources in this game in terms of team building specifically. So, like, how do I go about building teams? And I really break it out into multiple different areas of focus. And the first one is farming. So, what am I currently farming? Well, with regular energy here, your regular campaign energy, I am going through and I am currently farming out. Where are you at? Wicket, which we might actually finish Wicket today because I have not logged in or played yet today. Let's see, 9 more shards. Let's hit our refreshes. So I'm still hitting 3 full campaign refreshes every day, as well as 3 full Cantina refreshes every day. And with that, typically, are we gonna finish Wicket? Of course, that's the way it goes, right? All right, so we're 1 shard away from finishing Wicket. I'm farming out Wicket now so I can knock out C-3PO as soon as possible, just get him done with, and not have to worry about it, and just put the Ewoks on a shelf and forget about them. Now, along with the Ewoks, I'm also still working on my executor requirements, so I'm still farming. I guess we'll start here. This is our ship energy, not our campaign energy, but I am farming the TIE Advanced X1 Darth Vader ship every day. I'm also, why is this so off? There we go. All right, sorry, I was a bit off center there. I'm also farming out Houndstooth still. Now, once I finish up Wicket, I will likely swap over to Houndstooth so I can focus on just finishing off this farm because it is so crucial to my current fleet arena as well as the executor requirements. I am also farming out the Xanadu blood every single day. As you can see, I'm almost 6 stars there. On top of that, we're also working on IG-2000. Don't have the energy for him right now. We are also focusing on, where are we? Right here, the Imperial TIE Bomber. And if you'll notice, this also doubles down with Queel, who is a requirement for Beskar Armor Mando for his journey event, which is kind of what we're going to be focusing on in the mid future, kind of, I guess. And then if somehow we have enough energy left over after all of this, we are actually farming out Admiral Piet. It is honestly, it's not all that often that, oops, wrong character. It's not all that often we actually have the energy to go about and farm Admiral Piet. But kind of where I'm at with him is if I have a day like today where I kind of put off starting the game up, and I have a lot of excess energy, or maybe I didn't like log in late last night for like my last refresh or something, and I have a bunch of energy saved up first thing in the morning, I typically can get here, or sometimes maybe I'm just farming so many individual guys that I forget. Now, farming this many characters with regular energy does kind of draw back with the Geary portion, but we'll hop into that in a second here. For our Cantina farm, right now, we're already done with Pop Blue, and we're already done with Chief Chirpa. So what I'm actually focusing now in the Cantina is T3 and 4. We're starting to work on our Jedi Knight Revan requirements. They're going to be coming up kind of in line with our Jawas at about the same time while we work on our Crate Dragon teams while we are farming our Wampa and Hermit Yoda. We're kind of at a point right now where Wampa and Hermit Yoda are really kind of slowing the progression towards Jedi Knight Luke and Jabba right now, but we can still develop our account in other beneficial ways for ourselves and for our guild to help out with the raid. So that is all of our energy outputs as of right now. And now after it goes from farming, right? And I'm not going to get into the shipments and all that right now, but once we get into actually farming, the kind of second step I look at when I start building squads, right, is if we go through here in these squads, I've already farmed out. This is not a good example, but this bounty hunter team's already farmed out and done. My Geonosians are already farmed out and done. What I typically do after I have farmed out those characters is I will go through and then you start focusing on leveling them. And obviously you can focus on leveling and farming at the same time because they do not require the same resources. So as I am going through and farming out my Ewoks right now, I am currently leveling my Ewoks, but typically the way it breaks out is like I'll be farming my Ewoks and I'm leveling my Geonosians because my Geonosians had just finished farming and now I'm building them. So yeah, right now I am focusing on leveling my Ewoks. Where are we at? And I think today's actually the second day we're dumping credits into them. We've dumped a little bit into Chief Sherpa already. I'm just going to run through real quick and hit all my challenges for the day so I can farm up all of my credits and everything that I can dump into my characters. And God, if there's one thing I love about this lighting adapter, it is that this is so smooth and so fast on the screen. BlueStacks, you suck. Like, you absolutely suck. I do not like BlueStacks at all anymore. This is amazing. All right, we got all of our credits. Let's go ahead and dump some into Chief Sherpa. That's Pop Blue. Okay. Now, we'll get to like 75. That'll be a good stopping point for today. I like to always keep a little bit of credits in my back pocket just in case something pops up. Typically, like on my main account where I'm not actively like in a crunch having to level characters like 24/7, I like to at least sit on a bank of like 1 mil credits at the minimum. Like I will not spend myself below 1 mil. But on like this being like a still somewhat new account and we still have so many characters and so many teams to level, like we just need to be dumping credits as much as we can, really. And I forgot to throw my second round of Cantina Energy into T3, but let's do that real quick. And then after that, so what I'm kind of focusing on with the ships aspect is I am focusing on my executor requirements right now. So as you can see, we've got Slave 1 is good to go, TIE Advanced 1 is good to go, Houndstooth is good to go, Xanadu Blood is good to go, and I'm talking leveling, not farming, obviously, right? So what do we need? We need the TIE Fighter needs to come up here. So let's go ahead and put them at 85. Boom, good to go. And I think that's going to kind of cover it for now because we do not have the Razor Crest unlocked yet. We do not have the TIE Bomber unlocked yet. So essentially what I'll do now is I will be sitting on my ship arena credits for when I eventually do unlock the TIE Bomber. That way I can just take it to 85 right away. I really don't have any need or requirement to be investing into any other ships at the moment. There's plenty of stuff out there for me to level, but right now it's going to be more important we hold it for the TIE Bomber and then get him up as soon as we can. Now, we've talked about farming, and we've talked about leveling. So while we're farming one team, we can be focusing on leveling another team. We've already finished farming. And once a team has been leveled, then we can start focusing on gearing. So as you can see, kind of what I've mentioned already is, we're both farming and leveling Ewoks right now because I have kind of caught up with my farming and leveling at the same rate. But what we're currently working on as far as gearing goes is we're currently gearing our Geonosians. So we've got Geonosian Brood Alpha and Pongo the Lesser at gear 12 right now. We're now focusing on Geonosian Spy, Geonosian Soldier, and Sunfac, getting them up to gear 12. And gear 12 is going to kind of be that good point for me to just be done with them for now. That is kind of the minimum easiest requirement to get the Wat Tambor mission done in the Darkside Geonosian territory battles. So yeah, once we get them there, I'll be good to go ahead and stop them. So let's go ahead and see what we can pick up real quick. I want to save these Grand Arena currency if I can. And yeah, there we go. Let's go ahead, and I know I've got I need a lot of these hypo syringes for other characters. So we're just going to go ahead and buy 80 of them. And if there's one thing that I do really, really enjoy about the Crate Dragon Raid right now is that this cheaper gear to get from, up to gear 11/12. It is very, very cheap from this store, and it is very, very easy for you to go out and start just building up characters. As long as you stay focused and really focus on like one character, maybe a couple of them across one team, you can just build them super, super quickly. So it's looking like we might be at a block here with Geonosian Spy for today. Let's see if we can get any of. Ooh, okay, we're gonna have to manually farm that. And I think we're out of hypo syringes in the store, right? Maybe we can come back in an hour and a half or so once we get our store reset and see how that looks there. And here, can we buy anything with this? Yes, we can. That might be a little overkill buying 70 of those, but whatever. We'll get more raid currency within a couple days. We'll be fine. So, yeah, as you can see, we're now building the Geonosians. And the other thing that I'm also working on right now as far as resources and investments go is our ability materials. So typically, like, I would be dumping my ability materials into my Emperor Palpatine team here right now because none of these characters are really finished off with their abilities. But the problem is I'm really trying to rush my Geonosians. So typically I would be focusing on ability materials, finishing up my bounty hunters here for one, finishing off my Emperor Palpatine team here, and then I would probably be working on my Geonosian team afterwards. But right now, I really need to get this team done and packed away in a box so that I'm ready to go the next time that the Geonosian territory battles comes around. So we'll just go ahead and fly through this. We're now done with all of our regular abilities on Poggle and Geonosian Brood Alpha. Let's go ahead and dump some into Geonosian Spy here. Good to go. And that'll kind of cover it for that. Let's check our ship ability materials as well, because that's another separate kind of faction of resources. And again, I'm still working on my executive requirements here, so I'm really trying to focus on these ships specifically. And let's see, we've got 15, 17... increased target lock chance. I like that. If the target enemy is breached, dispel all buffs on them. That's going to be huge for me trying to counter these Houndstooth that I'm seeing in the early meta here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're also kind of focusing on bringing Boba Fett up here. This is kind of a separate lane of the resources. Is once you break into that gear tier 13, your resource requirement for bringing characters up for further advancement has nothing to do with gear, has nothing to do with really credits. It is going to cost credits, but not an insane amount like leveling a character is going to. It doesn't cost ability mats. So what it costs is it costs its own resources, again, relic materials. So while we're focusing on farming one team, while we're focused on leveling a team, while we're focused on gearing a team, and focused on ability matting or ability investing into a team, we can also be focused on relicking one character at a time, because realistically, I've got him to relic level 2, and I have not I haven't farmed any resources from them. This is all just natural income. Now, of course, the scrap over here, like the bronzium wiring and the chromium transistors, all that stuff, I've had to scavenge all of that from stuff that I've already gotten, but I haven't had to go out of my way yet to farm materials yet for scavenging, and I have not had to farm any of these materials here for the actual signal data. Now, I've gotten these all just specifically from like events and territory wars, territory battle, whatever. All the just naturally income in the game. And I'm getting to a point now with my Cantina farms where there's not a whole lot of characters that I need right now from the Cantina. So after T3, I might start focusing on farming these out so that I can push Boba Fett to Relic 8 as soon as possible for the executive requirements. But as of right now, we're kind of good. We're chilling. But that's going to be it for today. That's going to cover it. If you guys take anything away from this video, I know I kind of rambled on and on. Don't get pigeonholed into focusing on just one team at a time, especially if you're early on in the game. When you're later on in the game and you're really just focusing on like a character or two to like a lifter or there's just a new character or just like that one last missing final piece for a team, that's different. When we're in the early game here, we really need to focus on being, for one, we want to have a wide roster, but two, we need to be able to make sure that we are still focusing on those teams in order to push them deeper into your Gear 12, your relics, all those phases, because that's ultimately how you start advancing into Grand Arena in the later stages and whatnot. Is you don't when you're in like Carbonite, for instance, you only need 6 teams, 3 on defense, 3 on offense. Obviously, you start building those teams deeper. If you have more than 6 teams and you're not progressing through Grand Arena to the higher ranks to be able to use more than those 6 teams, you're wasting resources because you can't use those teams that you're investing resources into. So you want to be investing into teams to build them strong and deep, and then advancing in Grand Arena, and then building wider to support that new tier in Grand Arena, if that makes sense. There's kind of a give and take to it. But if you're a new player, new to the end game, don't focus on just one character or one team at a time. Focus on everything. What are you doing? Always be thinking of the future. What is your current team? What is your next team? And how are you splitting up these different farms? Remember, there's farming, leveling, and actually investing resources into things. All of them you can do on different teams at the same time. Just make sure you don't stretch yourself too thin. Keep building, stay at it. Let me know what you think down in the comments. What are you guys working on? And I'll see you later.